shit hand, a bitch slap from life, and guys some real strife into something that don't look like a sad case. Caught up in the rat race when you just want the rap race, begging for fan face and carve the time to carve your own space. But they say nay, the DJs don't play your life's work on radio. You can say this isn't hip hop, you can say this bitch drops his bars down a well, and you can smell that shit cause it's rotten. And my reaction would be to not give you traction, flashing middle fingers, forget fashion, fishing out them bars, resume the action. And actually I don't care if I cash and could take forever, for my sound is ever meshing and mashing with what they sincerely wanna hear, what they like in their rapping. But I ain't never been popular, so I'm comfortable with that shit. I ain't saying that it's easy, baby, but goddamn it, is it complicated? I got scars to prove it, taking steps to date. It's just a matter of time before we make it. I ain't saying that it's easy, baby, but goddamn it, is it complicated? I got scars to prove it, taking steps to date. It's just a matter of time before we break shit. I don't really know if I'll ever be stacking Benjamins, but got on good authority that bars could become venomous, enemies to my enemies. It practices my sentiment, challenge myself like cinnamon, psychopathic. I'm Dennis, and always sunny and funny enough. I don't crave the runny yellow rays of sunshine as much as everybody else. It's not that I like it gloomy and rainy, I just don't check. I got blankets over the windows to keep my recordings echo free. I'm satisfied to be inside, I'm all the time up in my mind. An automatic fire until I'm shooting blanks. I kick the writer's block and it's crotch and don't stop until it's dropping my words and cursing me while I'm yelling thanks. Cause you gotta take back what's yours, and if you never had it, we'll start at your ground floor. Ignore the entire world till you can't be ignored, then go make yourself a ruckus. Say fuck this, I'm kicking down their damn door. I ain't saying that it's easy, baby, but goddamn it, is it complicated? I got scars to prove it, taking steps to date. It's just a matter of time before we make it. I ain't saying that it's easy, baby, but goddamn it, is it complicated? I got scars to prove it, taking steps to date. It's just a matter of time before we break shit. Yeah. See, the problem is, I've been keeping my eye on you. Ooh. Why don't you show me something you got in the tank? Ooh, words count for nothing, you can't buy food with a thank you. You run your mouth about how you be crafting dank brews, but another month is passing, your Spotify's still blank. Boo, thought you were gonna paint too, you were making games too. This is kinda lame, you're still looking like the same you. Never take the blame, you. Video games, you ambition on a tame route, looking like a lame you. And I ain't saying this is easy, baby, but goddamn it, isn't complicated. I got scars to prove it, taking stubs to date. It's just a matter of time before we make it. I ain't saying that it's easy, baby, but goddamn it, isn't complicated. I got scars to prove it, taking steps to date. It's just a matter of time before we make it. I ain't saying that it's easy, baby, but goddamn it, isn't complicated. I got scars to prove it, taking steps to date. It's just a matter of time before we break shit. I ain't saying that it's easy, baby, but goddamn it, isn't complicated. I got scars to prove it, taking steps to date. It's just a matter of time before we make it. I ain't saying that it's easy, baby, but goddamn it, isn't complicated. I got scars to prove it, taking steps to date. It's just a matter of time before we break shit.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. So let's get it. You ready? Hey. So I've been out here for a minute, got me grown out. Always moving around, feel like a stranger in my hometown. You ain't really about it unless you really been around it. I've been looking for my moment, now I think I finally found it. Oh yeah. Well, things ain't go according to plan, so now I show the world I've been trying to hide. Won't act like I ain't scared to leave, but this right here's my therapy. I went through the dark and now there's light in my eyes. I just changed the way I see it. All I had to do was
Hi, thank you for joining me. Today we are going to do a multimedia abstract piece. I have with me a canvas that I have spray painted. We have some Canson watercolor paper, which we're going to use. We have the Winsor & Newton watercolors and some oil pastels. So what we do when we want to start an abstract piece is we decide on a color palette My favorite way to do that is to wander on down to Home Depot or Lowe's or your local hardware store and choose paint chips. So this is the palette that we're going to use today, and you'll see on the canvas I initially spray painted it black, and there are just hints of the various colors that we have in our palette. So let's get started. First we need to prime our watercolors, so let's get some water on there. Now normally if you were working with watercolors you'd have multiple jars of water. Today what I'm working on is I'm just going to have a wash of color. There'll be no distinct, it'll blend in amongst each other, so I don't mind that I only have the one jar of water. So let's get some water on the canvas, and it's just going to be, I don't want any harsh lines with the water.
Ready, slider.
The harsh lines are going to come in with the oil pastels.
Go.
So we just make sure that the paper is very wet. Obviously I'm doing a wet on wet application today, and when you're doing wet on wet your paper needs to be very, very wet. So let's get all of this water on here. Oops. That's what happens when you're not watching what you're doing. You miss the jar altogether. I like, especially in these kind of lights, I like to look at the canvas at an angle so you can see exactly
Ready, stage
where
right.
the water is.
Go. There's that angle.
That should be good. We might need a little more up here. All right. Well, we
Ready
won't
overhead?
be using that brush.
Go.
Sammy, you want to bring me the brush? Maybe not. All right. So let's just start. Sammy. I have my puppy here and he decided that he wanted to eat the brush, which I don't want. So we're just going to put random color onto the canvas. I said I wanted this to be very free flowing, nothing, no straight lines, just color.
Gotcha. Ready, stage right. Go. Stage left now. Sorry, that was me talking to myself.
Alright, this is looking pretty good. Let's get some of the yellow up in the middle.
Ready overhead. Go.
And we're going to get a little more of the orange down here.
I have a quick suggestion.
And let's put some
You might want to put
orange
that
through
up top
here.
next time. Only from the standpoint of she usually does all of her stuff at the bottom.
And it's random colors.
Just a suggestion.
Just going through your piece. It doesn't have to be, you know, specifically colored in specific places. Once you see what I plan on doing after this, you'll understand a little better.
Ready, slider?
But let's just make those a little
Go.
more. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what we have, I'm just going to put a little more of the pigment here.
That's why I was going to call it there, so you didn't have to worry about it.
We want pigment.
Stage left.
Right.
Go.
Now, normally we would just sit and let this dry. But today we're all hanging out together. So we want this to dry as quickly as possible so that we can move on to the next step. Be aware that when you use a heat gun or a hairdryer on watercolors, it does dry differently than if you just let it dry naturally. So we're going to move that out of the way. Now we're going to hit it with our heat gun.
Ready. Oh, just stay there.
And this is going to take a second, but it'll still be faster than waiting. Now what you can do, see how the water has pooled here? You can actually, if I had a hairdryer, this would work better. But you can actually use your heat gun to move the water about and change the composition a little. But in the meantime, we just gotta wait
Ready overhead.
until it all dries.
Go. Should have a
Okay, while
While
we're
it's
waiting
drying.
for this to all dry, once I'd chosen my colours from my paint swatches, paint chips, I opened up my swatch carts in order to choose which particular colours I was going to use from my watercolours and from my oil pastels. With the watercolours, to get the green that I wanted, I did have to mix it. So this allows you to see that the green was way too green for what I had. So I knew immediately that I had to mix my colours. And I am terribly impatient, so I'm going to pick up some of the paint, or some of the water. There we go. We're almost there. Then we can get into the more exciting parts. Right, if got hot enough that it started to cook the tape. So I'm going to stop doing that.
Ready, Slider, when you're ready?
All right.
Go.
So these harsh lines that you see on the edges, and that is because I was using a hairdryer or a heat gun. If I just left it to dry, we probably wouldn't have got those lines. Now what I'm going to do is we are going to put some tape over this with the
Ready overhead?
idea that the tape will protect the watercolor from being overwritten or colored over by the oil pastels. So part of it is going to be
Is that me or
part
are
of the pattern
those?
is going to be based on where I think the really cool colors are for the watercolors, which
Nice
I like
placement on
here.
the. There we go. Yeah,
And
it's hard. It was hard to read, but I like the.
I really like this bit right here. And let's see. This part
horrible
is
idea.
kind of cool here. And you know how I said I wanted harsh lines for the oil pastels? So it's going to be within squares and blocks that we're doing the oil pastels. Oops, come on, tape, play nice. Oh, okay. Stupid tape. All right, let's put some here. And
I only have 10 minutes left in this meeting.
we want another piece here.
Okay.
I like this. Panic not, you will understand once I'm finished taping it all up. All right, so this one here. And we need, even though it's an abstract piece, I don't know about anyone else, but for me, I still need balance. I still need symmetry. Even though this is kind of like loose and all about, I still need it to not look completely random. So we're going to do this. And one last piece, and then I'll start attacking it. Well, maybe two more pieces with the oil pastels. So I'm going to put this piece here. Yes. Too long. Put this piece right here. And last but not least, we want this piece over here. Now, initially when I was thinking of doing this, I bought various pieces of tape because I thought it would be pretty cool to have different size lines. And that is still an option, but not what I ended up deciding to do today. So,
Ready, stage left.
with our oil pastels, it's a very similar palette to what I was showing you with those. We're going to start with the black. Black oil pastels are very hard to merge with other colors. So we're going to use it as a shadow type thing. We're going to pretend that the light is coming from this corner up here, because that's where the bulk of the yellow is. We're just going to put a little bit of black along these edges. Like this. Now, if the light's coming from there, the shadow would also be under here. And, you know, I don't want to do that. So, be under here. Under here, and you see I'm not like being really like precise with this. There's no need to be, and you'll see why in a little bit. All right, I think I have all of the edges, so I'm going to try and do the same general thing with the oil pastels that I did with the watercolors, and that is just mix and match and merge and have all of the colors do their thing. And let's see, do some blue on this one. Orange.
Ready, slider.
Because we can. Well, we'll start with yellow and green on this one. It's one way to merge colours. Get the other colour on your oil pastel. Now, this is the fun part when you're working with oil pastels, is you get a little piece of paper. You can do this with your finger, and it does work
Overhead.
when you use your finger.
Ready?
But let's do that
Go.
again so you can see it on camera. So we do this, we do this, oops, this, and then this. So we have a little pointy thing of paper, and then you just rub. The direction you rub determines how it all merges. Obviously, what we need to do with this one is avoid the black when we're rubbing. So we can do that. what I will do.
Ready, Slider?
Is
Go.
we'll just do the black separately.
Nice. It's like that angle.
So that it's already rubbed out. And you can see now why I wasn't too concerned about being precise, because there's really what I'm doing today isn't
Ready,
a
stage
very
left.
precise thing.
Go.
Oil pastels can be, but I'm not trying to be today.
2-minute warning. So talk to you a bit unless we can leave it on overhead just before I die.
Oops. You really need a point. If you don't have a point, it just doesn't work. All right. So then let's.
Good idea.
I might not have bought enough paper tissue with me.
Bye.
Oh well. Point. Okay. So now we're going to continue with just randomly doing our oil pastels until all of the squares are filled in, basically. Just blocks of color. Gonna need to pull some of this paper off.
And we're back.
Ooh, it makes my muscles a little sore. Okay, you could do the whole thing and then rub, but giving myself a bit of a sore thumb, so we're going to break the,
Ready, stage left.
I don't know if you want to call it momentum, but we're going to work on a different thing, just to give my thumb a bit of a
Go.
break. Mm.
Ready, slider. Go.
One of the reasons why I am changing the paper so quickly is obviously the oil pastel gets on the paper, and as you're rubbing between the colors, it transfers the previous color into your new color. Now, to a certain extent, that's kind of what you want because you want to merge them all, but by the same token, you don't want to make it so that the original bulk color is just completely lost. You do want to keep some of the original. This is my, oh, you went away.
Camera shy puppy.
Hey, puppy.
Ready, overhead.
You see my puppy? He wants to
Go.
do art too. He thinks art's a lot of fun. Now, as you can see, the direction you rub in changes how the colors look. So keep that in mind when you're doing oil pastels. You can completely change the look of something by which angle you rub the pastel in when you're doing it. Looks like a bit of a mess right now, but I promise you, once we're done, it will look pretty cool. Well, at least I'm hoping it will. All right, let's put some green here.
Yeah. Ready, slider.
And let's put some orange here.
Go.
Don't press too hard, you'll break your stick.
It's here. It's better.
And if the where you put the colors and how you do it is entirely up to you. Once you've chosen a color palette, just put it anywhere you want. I'm going to do some yellow down here. Orange and yellow always goes well together.
You're in Arizona, you definitely know that.
And we need some more green. I'm going to do green down here.
Ready, stage left. Go.
And last but not least is this one little section in here. So, let's see. We should put some more green, because like the green just comes bleeding over the edge.
Bleeding green.
And some yellow.
Glad you can hear me.
And some more. Oh, remember? I broke it. Orange. And then lastly, we'll fill it up with blue. Alright. So now we finish up the rubbing, and then we're almost done.
Stand by overhead. Go.
Oops. Here we go. All right, so let's get it merged with the black. Then we'll move it around. I think I want a little more blue in there. Didn't stay very blue. I want some more blue in there. Yeah, that's a bit better. And rub out the orange. So close to being finished.
Ready, stage left. Go.
Okay, so let's get this all nicely.
Ready over.
And I'm gonna chase down the black.
Go.
Last but not least,
I
is the
can't even
blue.
see what that just said.
And do the smudgy blue. Now, one thing I did notice is this bit here. It doesn't like you can see it on camera, but it has done like a light smudgy thing past the watercolor, which I don't like. So we're going to put some more blue here and make it less smudgy. I might as well do it all the way up to the top and reinforce the blue. Grab another one.
Ready, stage right. Go. I cannot even read what that said.
Oh, definitely better than it was. Well, this little dot of black that you probably can't see is very annoying as well, so we'll get rid of it. Oh, I didn't do good. Let's do this.
Ready overhead. Go.
As I said, the black oil pastels totally take over all the other colors. So it can get a little annoying. All right, now what we need to do is pull off the tape. If I can remember what order I put it down in. Take this one, pull it up. Okay, you also need to be careful that your tape doesn't take the paper with it. Which it started to do there. But I can fix that with a little bit of glue. This one looks like it's a top. So, if you pull away from the paper at an angle, which I forgot to do up there, generally you get better results and less tearing of the paper. Yes, this is a top level one as well. Slowly. And this one. And as you're taking the tape off, you can slowly start to see the composition coming out. Let's see what's next. This one, I think. And this one. Okay, this is starting to irritate me. See, what else do we have? We have this one. Oh, missed one. Missed one. Let's see, I have this one, and we are about to remove our last piece of tape. Look at that. All right. Let's take her off the table. Again, very carefully. Now, if you're concerned about your tape at all, you could use the heat gun to run over it as well. And this will melt the adhesive in the tape and make it much easier to pull off and less likely to destroy the paper underneath.
Ready, stage left. Go.
Now what we will want to do before the final composition is probably put this underneath something heavy for a couple of days so that the paper flattens, or use a lot of glue. A lot of glue will also help the paper flatten when I show you what I'm going to do next. Now,
Ready overhead.
Oil pastels always leave
Go.
stuff on the paper, and you can use your fingers to rub it in or blow it off.
Sorry, that was pretty quick.
If you
I
don't
won't
want
do that
them.
next time.
As you can see, I'm choosing to rub them in. It's giving a little more texture to the whole thing, so I kind of like that. Okay, so once we flatten our piece of paper and glue down the bits that broke because I wasn't watching what I was doing, for the time being I'm just going to put some water there so it'll stay down so you can see what's going on. Then we bring it over to our canvas and I'm going to glue this down to the canvas, and that will basically be the final look. So it's very easy. It can be very personalized to what you like to do. If you want to give it a go, please do put your comments and show me where it is, and I can go have a look at it. But otherwise, thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's
Go ahead
show,
to
go
the
ahead and
face
let
cam.
me know in the comments. If you hated it, let me know that too. And you have a great day.